I am. This has been really, really awesome this week, and we've gotten so much value from all of our speakers this week, and I'm excited for today as well. So if you guys are not awake yet, I promise you, you will be after we're done with this call, because we have an amazing lineup of speakers today, amazing content that you guys are going to love. So make sure that you have your notebook out and your pen, and hopefully you have your coffee with you, because you're going to need it, because there's going to be lots of energy on this call today. So before we get going with our speakers this morning, though, I want to ask you guys, are you guys doing those action steps? How are you guys doing on that? So if you're doing the action steps every day, let's put a 1 in the chat and see where we are with that, because we know that we can show up to these calls and we can listen and we can hear these amazing speakers, but if we're not actually doing these action steps and putting them into practice every day, it's just another call. We're not actually going to move our business forward. So it's very important that you guys are actually doing those. I can see some ones coming in. That's awesome, guys. Awesome job. Keep that up. So, and Meryl shared that with us on Monday too. Great insight from a brand new FIBC. You know, you can show up to calls, but you got to do the work. And even if you've been on calls before and you feel like you've heard this stuff, you still got to do the work, and you're going to hear things differently. So kudos to you guys who are doing that. Awesome job. And I'm excited for today. But before I move over to our speakers and we hear from those guys, I want to share something with you guys, because this series is all about sponsoring. We know that if we're going to move from executive director to a FIBC business, we have to sponsor, and we have to sponsor a lot of coaches. So we are setting you guys up for success. We are giving you some tools to do that this week with this training that we're doing. But I want to share with you guys, because we have coming up, I can't share, Justin. I want to show you guys what we have coming up on Saturday this week. We're going to do a trilogy call, and we are going to have some amazing speakers on that call. Here we go. 1 second. Show you guys the graphic. So you guys see that? Hopefully you're good. So we have the amazing Priscilla Allen is going to host this trilogy call, which you guys know the energy that this girl brings. And so you need to get all of your potential coaches on this call, because she's going to bring the fire. But not only do we have Priscilla, we have Nicole Hawkins, Toby Tillman, Joy Avino, and the amazing Michael Smith. So you guys will want to be inviting everyone on your list to this, and we'll talk about this more in the action steps, but put this on your calendar now. We have this coming up this Saturday, and this is going to be the finale to this series that we're doing this week. So make sure that you have that in your calendar and you take note of that, and we're going to invite lots and lots of people. So without further ado, I'm going to move on to our amazing speakers today. And this week we're really enjoying hearing from some FIBCs, some who have moved through these steps in their business and are now actually operating a FIBC business. So this morning we're going to have James Richard come off and share his experience with us and give us some tips and tools that has made him successful. So James, are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me on. And I'm excited to really share with you guys a little bit about my journey from going from ED to FIBC, or fully integrated business coach. And for me, it's definitely been an amazing journey. It's been fun. There's also been a lot of challenges, through this journey, and through those challenges, a lot of personal growth. I really had to work on myself, and I'll kind of explain that, but wanted to kind of get into the fun part. This journey, or this part from ED to FIBC, is where it really gets fun. Everybody here is probably at this level because you're working with clients, and it's a lot of fun work with clients, helping people to reach their goals, seeing people start to transform and break through, and the text, them getting healthy, losing weight, coming off medication, whatever. And that's amazing and fun. But when you start working, or when I started working with coaches, this is where it really got fun. Because now you start to see people completely transform in their life. You start to see them, start mentally, the mental transformations, the community, and what that's what that does for them, the financial benefits and blessings that they get. You know, when you start seeing those things, you start seeing people completely transform, and you get to work with them. That's when for me this journey became really fun, and this is really the beginning stage as we're working. As I was working and building to having an FIBC business. Um, and at this point, it's especially when you find the right people. When you find, I remember we had these bracelets when I first started coaching. It said, "Find good people." Especially when you find the good people, the runners, the ones that are excited, the ones that are on the trainings, the ones that are texting you. When you find those coaches, this business becomes a lot of fun and very exciting. But of course, it does come with challenges, and some of the challenges that I had personally going through this journey from ED to FIBC is I'm a very competitive person. Growing up in sports, coaching high school basketball, I'm very, very competitive. I teach my kids to be competitive, but also being very competitive, a lot of comparison can kind of sneak in there. And through this journey, you know, going from ED to FIBC, I found myself comparing myself to other coaches, you know, coaches that started when I started. And I was wondering, you know, why are they, you know, growing faster than I am, or coaches that started after me. And you know, for me, that comparison was robbing me of my joy. And it wasn't a fun place to be at. So that was something that I really had to work on myself and kind of, you know, break that comparison. The competitive, I like to do it. It kind of helps me, you know, to help me be successful, you know, having that competitive spirit, but really had to break that, you know, stop comparing myself to other people in their journey, because everyone comes into this at different levels. You know, some people come into this with great leadership skills already. People come into this with a huge social network. And, you know, so that's when I had to learn to stop comparing myself to others. Another thing that I had to really learn and get good with is my leadership skills, especially in this time, because now we're leading people, we're leading coaches, we're leading people to start building their business. And so I had to do a lot of growth there. Books, I bought a couple of books, was listening to a couple of podcasts, webinars. I had to work with my coach a lot and work on my leadership skills. I remember one time we did my map, and we didn't, the whole 30, 45 minutes we were on the call, we didn't even go over my map. We spent 30 minutes talking about leadership and how I can become a better leader and, you know, what I need to work on. So especially at this point where you're really starting to coach and guide people in a business, that was something that was huge for me. I hit FIBC twice, which means that I was ED, hit FIBC, and then for a few months, there for a few months, and then kind of backtrack where I was ED for longer than I wanted to be. And I was kind of disappointed because I wasn't, you know, for me, I was comparing myself to myself and to other people. You know, why wasn't I FIBC? And so what I had to do, and I'll wrap up with this, but one of the things that helped me get back to FIBC and maintain that is going senior coach again. And as I'm working with brand new coaches, I had to think about, well, what did I do to hit senior coach? And that's exactly what I did. So every time I start a new coach and I know their goal is to reach senior coach, I think to myself, well, James, you're just going to go senior coach again. So everything that I did to reach senior coach, I'm going to do that with this new coach, with starting conversations, doing the 3x3x3, you know, posting. That was something I had to tell myself is go senior coach again. And the last thing is I had to learn how to coach people to their why. Earlier, we heard Justin was talking about, when he was talking about with Joy, how he coached her to her why. And that's amazing. But one of the things I had to learn to get good with is coach people to their small whys, but also their big whys. Because a lot of times the big why for a lot of coaches can seem too far away. Like, you know, oh, I want to retire or leave my job, but that could seem far away. So coaching people to their small why, you know, a lot of people just wanted to pay for their fuelings. So we showed them just how to do that. And then, you know, a lot of people wanted to pay for a car note. So we showed coaches how to do that. And just really finding out what is their small whys, and then really celebrating those small victories to help them accomplish their big goals and what they want. But it's definitely been an amazing journey. It's been challenging, but with that challenge is a lot of personal growth and definitely a lot of fun.
That's awesome, James. Thank you so much for that. You know, I took a lot of notes in what you were saying there, and, you know, the analysis paralysis, you know, the comparison with other coaches that are around us is something that we really have to be aware of and not fall into that. And just really stay focused on our own journey and what we're doing. And, you know, the leadership skills that definitely plays into that. So thank you for that, James. That was great information and some awesome tools that you gave us there. So I want to move on to our next presenter now. You guys all know and love him, and we're going to hear about how to fill your funnel of clients. So I want to introduce to you guys Integrated Presidential Director Jamil Frazier.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Drop them one in the chat if you guys are feeling good. If you guys got some value from James. James, that was so good. That's the first time I've ever heard coach someone to their small why and to their big why. Have you guys ever heard that before? That's one of the things that I love about what we do and about having a positive community, because you're always still learning. You're always still learning. And I just learned from that. I mean, that I've been coaching for 8 years, James, and what you just said was like one of those combinations that just opened up my lot that makes me want to dive back into the people that I'm working with and really search for their small whys, and because I'm usually connected to their big whys. So I'm so excited today, Carolyn. Thank you so much for being a tremendous host. And to all of the presenters that's been presenting so far in this series. Today, I get to talk about something that's a staple to our business, and that's filling our funnel with clients. And I work with so many coaches, and I'll always bring it back to the basics. And when I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about how do I want to talk about this, it took me back to when I started dating my wife. And if any of you guys have met Amanda, you know how amazing she is. If you haven't gotten a chance to meet her, I hope that you do. But I'm a little bit scared too, because right away you're going to like her way more than you like me. And you're probably not going to want to talk to me anymore. But I've gotten used to it over the years. When I started dating Amanda, she was an international salsa dancer. So she was really, really, really good at dancing. I mean, she's still good. She just doesn't do it as much. But when I met her, she was like that fiery Latina that just, I would just see her out there in the crowd, and she would just be doing all these twirly whirlies and all this stuff. And after a while, I started to disseminate some of my fears. And I said, Amanda, you know, I want to take lessons. Will you come and join me with lessons? She said yes, because she always tried to get me to dance, but I wouldn't dance. I was too scared. And so we started taking lessons. And when I went in there, I wanted to go in there and I wanted to learn how the salseros did it, right? Like I wanted to do all of the moves. I wanted to do all the spins. I wanted to do like a backflip with the splits, with the steps. And when I went in, they were like wasting my time with this basic stuff. Like this 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. And I was like, that's not what I came here for. You know, I'm trying to be like Cheyenne. Like I would to do all the steps. And it annoyed me that every time I went in, they were working on the basics. That was problematic for me because I can't go to the club with Amanda and sit in the middle of the room and just be doing these little basic steps. Like I can't do that. And so it also reminded me of, I don't know, put a 2 in the chat and comments. Any of you guys musicians, you play any instruments? Guitar, piano, Melody, what do you play? Eric, what do you guys play? What do you guys play? So, you know, I grew up in church, and in church, like you had to sing or you had to learn how to play something. I mean, those are your only 2 options, or they would kick you out of the church. And so I was always fond of all of our, you know, junior high school and high school pastors. I always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. And so once I got to to university at Azusa Pacific, I started learning how to play the guitar. And again, the way they started teaching me wasn't like how I saw people on stage, right? And I wanted to be the people on stage. I didn't want to sit there for months and months learning these basic chords, because that's not me. That's not what I want to do. And I got frustrated with it. And eventually I just pulled back on it because I wanted to be all the way over here before I got great with the basics. Now, I say all that to say is the basics of your business, and I know we've been talking about a lot, is filling your funnel with clients. Let me say that again. The basics of your business. I know all of you guys want to go FIBC. In fact, put a 4 in the chat if you want to go FIBC, global, integrated global, presidential, integrated presidential, just killing it and knocking it out of the park. Okay, so basically what you're saying is you want to be Cheyenne. You want to be that salsero in the club that it just their feet look like they're freaking floating on air. And what I'm telling you is get really, really good with that 1, 2, 3, 1. Like get really, really good with chord E and F. Get really, really good with the basics, because not only will you not be able to move past FIBC, if for some reason, through the grace of God, you did, you won't stay there because you won't know how to teach it. Like for where you're at right now in your business, it is so much bigger than you. It is about, can not only you do it, but can you teach it, and can you watch other people teach it? So you want to master the basics. So, I was just thinking about, my mind is so simple. I'm not like this overtly intelligent dude. And so I thought I'd just draw something out for you guys, because this is basically your business. 4 quadrants. You acquire clients here. This is where you're going to fill your funnel with clients. You support those clients. You acquire coaches, and you support those coaches. Okay? So what we're talking about right now is quadrant number 1. How do you fill this funnel and consistently fill it? And more importantly, why? I was talking to a coach last night, and she says about the 11-day series. How many of you guys were on that 11-day series? Isn't that good? I feel like we should give those guys a round of applause. I honestly feel like the training we get, I was joking the other day, but I wasn't joking. I am so incredibly blessed and fortunate and lucky to get to learn from you guys every single day. You guys develop yourself, and then you give to us so freely, without question, oftentimes. Thank you so much for investing in my life, which consequently has invested in my children's life and their children's lives. So speaking with a coach, and she says, I was kind of checked out of the 11-day series, or I didn't get much from it. I'm paraphrasing. I'm already executive director, and it was just, I just kind of wasn't feeling it. And again, I'm paraphrasing. It wasn't this coach's exact words, but it was something like that. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh my gosh, do you know that series for where you were was the answer to getting to where you want to be? Let me say that again. Every training series is so important and critical to getting to where you want to be. Why? Because if our desire is if I'm already, let's just say I'm already ED, or I'm already FIBC, if my desire is to go global, integrated global, presidential, integrated presidential, then I could have used that series to fill my funnel with clients. How many clients did you guys bring on those last couple months as we're running that series? How many clients? I mean, I think Linda brought on like a total of 100 clients in a couple months. We could have used that series to do the basic steps, which the basic steps are going to get us to where we actually want to be. So when she was saying this to me, I was like, oh my gosh, you just missed out on the basics. The basics is where this business has grown. And I was like, over those last 2 or 3 months, you could have filled your funnel with clients like crazy so that in a couple months, you got a ton of coaches. And I didn't want to just sit here and preach to you guys. I wanted to go back and look at my numbers from 2012 and 2013. Because I wanted to be somewhat accurate. Okay, so I remember when we hit global in March of 2013. I had only been coaching for 10 months. Okay, so I was like, and I quit like a month and a half of those months. So I remember when we hit global, they would bring us on the line and they would say, how'd you do it? And I felt so new as a coach, I really didn't know what I was doing. There wasn't any strategy to it. I was just doing stuff. And so I remember talking to Karen and I said, I don't know what to say on this call because I don't know what I actually did. Does this make sense? Like, I'm just doing. There's no strategy to it. I'm not thinking this stuff out. I just made a decision that I was going and that was it. Like, I'm going. And if you guys want to jump on this train and you want to be bright, then jump on. But I'm going. And that was the only decision. It wasn't like, let me grow 2 or 3 points. It was none of that stuff. It wasn't like I knew these quadrants. No, I just made a decision that I'm going. I'm not stopping ever, ever, unless you kill me. But I'm going because I got to be free. I have to be free. And everyone from Long Beach up to Temple City, California, everyone in between there will get healthy, and it will be because of me. That was it. I didn't have any strategy. So when they asked me, I was like, I don't know. I just did it. Like, I'm just going. And over the years, I started to realize how that happened. So we didn't hit global in March. Let me say that again. We did not hit global in March. We hit global the previous September. Let me say that again, because I don't want you to miss what I'm saying. We did not hit global in March of 2013. We hit global in September 2012. And it started with filling my funnel with clients. Let me just break it down for you. So in September 2012, I brought on 11 new clients. Okay. In October, 10 new clients. In November, 25 new clients. In December, 34 new clients. Okay. So over the course of 4 months, that was 81 new clients. Here's the reality. I used to think that that was good until you guys showed up and you guys started like acquiring 60 clients in a month and 40 clients and 30 clients. I used to think that that was good until we started finding way better people. That's the key to your success. Find people who are better than you. So many of you guys are way more talented than me. Like I said, my whole goal is not to be known. I don't want anyone to know my name. I want them to know Carol Ann's name, Justin Navini's name, James Richards' name, right? Priscilla Allen's name. Don't need to know me. Why? Because I'm just a little guy. I want to produce leaders. This is where your mindset should be. So out of those 81 new clients, here's the deal. In January, I brought on 11 coaches. In February, 13 coaches. And in March, 12 coaches. For a total of 36 coaches. Let me say this again. We did not hit global in March. We hit global the previous September. Why? Because out of those 81 new clients, 36 coaches came from them. Are you guys catching on? Just breathe, whisper, blink, do something if you're understanding what I am saying. I had a coach tell me yesterday that is unrealistic for coaches to bring on five new coaches over the course of a week. Guys, I used to breathe and do that. What are we even talking about? Anyone that wants to can. It just comes down to, what do you want? And it all starts with the basics. Caroline?
Wow. I was so involved in what you were saying that I almost forgot to take it back. Guys, oh my goodness. That is so, so good. I love that, Jamil. You went global in September. That is gold right there. So many of you guys are going global this month. So many of you guys went global last month and maybe in April because of the work that you started doing then. That is absolutely incredible. And I love too what you said about, we're just going. We don't know what we're doing. We're just going. And so many times, so many of us want to know how to do things perfectly in the right way. And we want to have all the information before we go. Don't do that, guys. Just go. Just go. If we wait until we know everything, guess what? We're never going to go, because it's never going to be perfect. We're never going to have it all in our head. We're never going to know how to do everything perfect, because with this business, it's always changing. So even when you think you know, guess what? Something's changing. So just go. Just F it and go, guys. That was just gold, Jamil. Thank you so much for that. So now that we have heard about filling that funnel of clients and bringing in all of these people into our world, now we're going to hear from someone who's going to share with us, how then do we move those clients into coaches? How do we find those clients or those coaches in our client base? And I'm going to bring on Integrated National Director Priscilla Allen. And again, I hope that you guys are ready, because you know she always brings the fire. So be ready for what she has to say. So Priscilla, are you there?
I'm here. Good morning, everybody. So Caroline, I can only see you, so I'm going to talk to you. I love that I can see somebody right now. So good morning, everybody. What Jamil just shared right now is absolute gold. And honestly, whatever he says, I write down and I take to heart, because success leaves clues, right? I didn't know what that really meant when he would tell me success leaves clues. I'm like, what does that mean? But it means if you want to do what somebody has done, that person has done things and they're leaving clues as to what they've done. So I hope that everybody has tons of notes on how he did this. And I'm really excited to see how many more lives we're going to impact as we are, journeying together. So the next topic I want to talk about is how to find coaches within your clients. This all starts from the very beginning in the health assessment. We plant the seed in the health assessment. That is where the seed is planted. Okay. As we do a health assessment, right? What is the very first thing we do? We aim to awaken intrinsic motivation. We awaken desire in them. We figure out why they want this. How is this going to affect their lives and whatnot? Then we talk a little bit about our story. We talk a little bit about their health. And then we share the 4 components of our program, right? After we tell them, we'll say something like, thank you so much for being vulnerable with me and sharing your heart with me. I really appreciate that. I have a program that is going to work amazing for you. And so I actually have this script that was given at the Business Momentum. I love it. Okay, just so you guys know, this is amazing. Business Momentum. If you were in the Business Momentum a few months ago, it's under the health assessment training, but it's HA tips and questions. But this one sets it up so beautifully for you. So it breaks down the 4 components of the program. Okay, it breaks down the 4 components. It talks about how our program is designed, to help people create healthy lifestyle, healthy habits one at a time, blah blah. Then it breaks down the 4 components, right? What are the 4 components? It's a health coach, it's community, it's education, and it's the 5-in-1. Those are the 4 things. But what I love is when it talks about community, it lets the client know, or the potential client, that our goal is to help them create local healthy surroundings. Okay, they're going to have an incredible, amazing community group online, but our goal is to see them have a group, like a bulletproof group that is going to protect them as they go in this lifestyle, right? And I tell them, wouldn't it be amazing to actually be able to go to a friend's house and you'll have a lean and green there, or you can count on the fact that you're going to have healthy snacks there. So our goal is to help you get to that place. So what I say is, as your body and your demeanor begins to change, people are going to start noticing and asking you. And you can do one of two things. One, you can let them know, hey, I'm working with a health coach. I'm learning healthy habits. I feel amazing. Here's my health coach's number, or let me connect you with my health coach, right? I always aim for them to involve me in the call. I want to be part of the three-way text. And then the second part says, the other option is partnering with me to coach your friends and your family. This is by far the best plan for long-term success. And we're going to talk about this later. So I don't get into it. I'm not like, oh, let me explain a little bit more. I just say, but you know what? We are so going to talk about what it would look like for you and me to coach your family and friends together. But don't worry about it. We'll just talk about this later. So I don't really put all the emphasis there. But what I did was I planted the seed. And she knows, or he knows, that I will be talking to them about this opportunity later. And then I go on about, now another part of the health assessment, right? It talks about their worries. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you worry? And this is in the healthy mind part. And so I just did a health assessment on Saturday with a client. She's a client now. And I asked her, on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you? And she said, I'm like an 8. And I said, okay, what are your worries? And for the most part, a lot of people say finances, right? They'll say finances. But for her, she said, for some reason, she's in her 30s, but she said, I always think about just retirement. Like, are we going to have enough to retire? What do you think I was thinking? This is the amazing vehicle that's going to help you retire. That's going to help you and give you long-term results for your retirement, right? So I'm learning all these things from this client. I'm learning all these things. As I'm learning all these things, I'm taking notes, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk to her about the local surroundings, which are very important. And then I'm also going to talk to her about the healthy, the worrying part of things, right? This is the vehicle she's going to have. So once I do the invite and everything, it really depends where the call goes. Sometimes I touch a little bit more on the coaching opportunity if they ask me. Sometimes if I feel it like in me to share more, I will talk a little bit more. But for the most part, that is where we leave it. Most of the time, that is where we leave it. We just introduce it and that's it. Now on the pre-start call, when we get on a pre-start call, I am going to go ahead and drop some water in there, right? I planted the seed in the health assessment, and now I'm going to talk about it in the pre-start call. And obviously, we send them the video and we say, okay, watch that video. I'm going to call you, blah, blah. So we call them, we make sure they know what the first day is going to look like. We make sure we set them up for success, for that week. And we talk to them a little bit about even though they watch the video, you just kind of tighten the bolts, right? And then you say, okay, and as I told you in the health assessment, oh my gosh, girl, you know what? You are going to melt away. People are going to notice. From right now, I just want to encourage you to let people know that you are working with a health coach. Don't tell them you're doing an Optavia, because they can go on Optavia and grab a random coach, and I don't know that they'll get the same experience as they'll get it with me, as you're going to receive this week, So please just make sure you let them know. Or like I said, we are so going to talk about, coaching your family and friends together. We're going to talk about this once your first week is done. Once we celebrate you, once you feel amazing and, we see what progress looks like, we definitely are going to talk about this, because I don't want you to miss on this opportunity, right? This is too much for me to keep for myself. Like, I want to give you this gift and I want you to just kind of hear about it. So that's what we do, right? And I love to tell them, either in the celebration call or in the pre-start call, I love to tell people, you know what? You master what you teach, right? So as you teach other people get healthy, you're mastering it for your life as well. And that's really important, because we master what we teach. And when somebody has a lot of weight they need to lose, I let them know, that the Johns Hopkins University did a research, and they found out that someone who helps a few people get healthy has a 5-time greater chance of losing the weight and actually maintaining it, because they're sponsoring other people, right? So there's so many different wordings that we can give them, but it all starts in the beginning. We set them up from day one. So it is important that you guys plant the seed on the health assessment. After you plant the seed on the health assessment, it is important that, you begin watering it from day one. And then we love to talk about, how we drip and how we layer and things like that, right? We encourage them to integrate themselves in the community. I love to tell them, please be a part. Don't just be like somebody that watches the community. I want to encourage you to be a part of that, because I love what Kim Robbins says. Kim Robbins says in a celebration call, she tells all the clients, she says, every component on this program is an armor of protection for you. Every component is an armor of protection for everything that you've done for yourself. So I want to encourage you to put on every single armor of this component. And that means that in the community, you're going to go in there, you are going to love on people, you're going to encourage people, you're going to share your victories, you're going to share your struggles, you're going to do all of that, because that's a layer of protection. That's a layer of armor for you, for everything that you're going to create for yourself, right? So as they start like loving on people and encouraging people and posting their leading greens and all these things, what do we naturally tell them? Oh my God, you are such a natural coach. Oh my gosh, you're so natural. You're like encouraging people, you're loving people, you're guiding people. That's what we do. All I do is guide you. I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just guiding you. I'm keeping you accountable. And that's pretty much it, right? So we want to make sure that from the beginning, we integrate them. We absolutely integrate them into the community, because the people that are integrated are really the people that become the coaches, right? You have 3 different buckets where your clients fall into. The first bucket, I remember Josh Bombay texted him last night. I was like, Josh, these buckets are killing me. I'm like, remind me about these buckets. It's like, clients fall into 3 different categories. You have your hashtag all-in clients, right? They're the ones from the get-go who are running. They're messaging you. You have that 2-way relationship with them. They're sending you pictures of their leaning greens, pictures of their rings falling off. They're commenting on everybody. Those are given coaches. Those are people you are gonna, for sure, these are coaches, right? Then you have your second bucket. You have people who are a part of the community. They do see what's going on in the community. They don't really involve themselves in the community, but they say, yeah, I've gone and I scrolled and I've seen, I love people's transformation, but they just watch. That's all they do. We need to bring them into bucket A. That's our goal, to bring them into bucket A. And then we have our clients in bucket C, who really approach us like a diet, right? Unfortunately. And I tell people, if you do the 5-in-1 like a diet, you will get diet results. I'm telling you right now. I'm like, I'll be very honest with you. I'm like, because transformation happens up here. Transformation doesn't happen here. It happens here. So, these people in bucket C, we want to move to bucket B and then to bucket A. That's our goal, to bring everybody to bucket A, because when you bring people there, these are the people who will become a part of your team. So I want to encourage you, if you have clients, go through your communities and see who is participating and who is not participating, right? And obviously we can't make people do like things they don't want to do. We're adults, they're adults, we have family, we're not their teachers or anything like that. But our goal is to inspire them and to encourage them to post. And I tell the coaches on my team, don't post for your clients. Allow them to post for themselves, because when you post for them, you enable them and they get excited. And yes, it's fun, but you're enabling them. No, let them get out there and let them post for themselves. Encourage the post. Tell them, hey, you know what, Rocio, you killed it this week. Like, share it in the community. Let people love you. Let people, let them see like how amazing you've been doing. And then guess what happens? She gets over 80 likes and she's like, oh my gosh, people are noticing my journey. And guess what happens? The next day I see a picture of the leaning green. And the next day I see a picture of she's at the grocery stores. Hey, what can I eat here? Or like the back of the label, what do I do? Now she's engaging because she has this confidence that she knows people are going to engage back with her. So, if they don't feel secure, I do tell them, go ahead and tag me, right? So that I make sure I know the post is there. And if people don't do anything, I love to screenshot it and I send it to my team and I say, hey guys, can you guys please love on my client? This post is falling through the cracks. And then my whole team goes in and loves on this client, right? That's what's amazing about this, is that we all help each other that way. So I want to encourage you to encourage your clients to really integrate themselves in the community, to make sure that they know how to share the program, right? I had a brand new coach, a client, and this is shame on me, you guys, because I didn't share with her in the beginning on how to do this. And she sent 3 people to optavia.com. And this was on me. Okay. This was on me. I felt so bad. And I'm like, here I am 5 years later, and look at the big mess up I just did. And she sent 3 people to Optavia.com and they all signed up with random different coaches. So don't let that happen to you. You want to make sure that you train from the get-go. From that health assessment, you are going to train how to share the program. Even if they don't, or they do become coaches, you want to learn how to share that. You want to learn how to share that in the pre-start call, because you know what they're going to forget? They're going to get so excited. Oh, I'm doing Optavia, these bars, this water, blah, blah, blah. No, you want to go ahead and drip on that and water that as well on the way you're going to celebrate. Okay. And then you're basically going to normalize it. This is the 5th component of our program. A lot of our clients decide to pay it forward. Whether you help 1 person, you help 5 people, it doesn't matter. You know what? A lot of people end up doing this because it is a part of your own journey. When you bring the people that you love with you on this journey, you know what happens? It is crazy what happens. Transformation happens in your community. You begin the ripple effect to get everybody else around you healthy. So I want to encourage you guys, if there's any takeaways you take from these last 10 minutes that I've shared, is this: 1, make sure they know how to refer people to you. Okay. Please make sure they know how to refer people to you. 2, plant that seed in the health assessment. You can either plant it through the healthy mind component, or you can plant it through the, through the community component. Okay. C, in the pre-start call, you are going to go ahead and start watering those seeds. Okay. And by day 8, boom, in the celebration call, we are going all in and asking for permission for a coach explore on how we are going to go ahead and explore the coaching opportunity with them. And then we set up that call on day 8. Okay. Make sense? Awesome. I can't see anybody. So Carol Ann, back to you.
That was awesome, Priscilla. I feel like I need to go do this stuff right now. Like the way you're talking to me is like right now. Like there's so much passion when Priscilla speaks. So I'd love that, and, just listening to her give us all these amazing tools about how to really approach coaching before the client even starts as a client on program, and how to integrate them into the system. And, I was thinking about how people just need to know that someone believes in them. I mean, how many of us on this call ever thought they would coach? Like if you remember before you started coaching that it was not something that you ever would have dreamed you would do, put a 5 in the chat. And I can tell you guys that was me. Like, had I not had a coach that loved on me and told me over and over and dripped on me and shared with me how awesome I was doing by supporting people in the client site, she saw me posting in there in the client site and loving on people. And she's like, that's a coach. And I didn't know I was a coach, but she knew I was a coach. And so I'm so grateful to her for doing that, because I would have never known that this was here, that this tool that has changed my life was here. And we just need to tell our clients how amazing they would be as coaches. We just need to let them know that we believe in them, because you know what? They trust you. You're their coach and they trust what you have to say. So if you believe in them, they will believe in their self. And so everything that you just shared was amazing, Priscilla. So, so good. I love that. I wrote down so many notes from that. Thank you so much. So now that we're coming towards the end of our call, we want to share some more amazing tools with you guys on more integration for your clients. And one of the biggest things that we do with our clients, we want to make sure that we're doing with them, is a celebration call. So I'm going to have Integrated Presidential Director Michelle Bamba come on, and she's going to talk to us about celebration calls and how to really utilize that to really drip and plant on the seed of coaching with these people. So Michelle, are you there?
I am here. Thank you, Carol Ann. And gosh, I need to remind myself to never agree to go after Priscilla Allen, because that was just straight fire. That was so good. And even Jamil. But I'm excited to be on and to share with you guys how powerful a celebration call can be and how to really master a celebration call for growth. Before I get into that, though, I really want to go over and share with you that there are 5 powerful C's to your business for growth. Okay, so 5 powerful C's. And what does that look like? The first one is conversations, right? The more conversations that we have, the more relationships we build that lead to health assessments and lead to clients. Second one is client support. This is obviously one of the biggest parts of our business. And proper client support really leads to longevity in someone's journey. It leads to obviously referrals. So we want to make sure that we're giving proper client support. There we go to celebration calls, you guys. Now this is where it gets fun, because a celebration call, and when you learn to master celebration calls, that can lead to number 4, which is a coach explore, which leads to 5, coach support. So those are the 5 powerful C's that you have in your business for growth. But today, I'm going to really focus on mastering the celebration call. You guys, celebration calls are my jam. I love getting on celebration calls. This is one part of the business that I am just so passionate about because of how this part of our business can help us grow our business. What if every celebration call can lead to moving your business forward? And that's what we're actually going to talk about today, is how every celebration call can lead that forward. So put a 10 in the chat. I know there's so many numbers already that have been posted. Put a 10 in the chat if you want to see that every celebration call that you have with your coach or that you do for your coaches can move your business forward, because it can. Now, if you are not inviting your clients to a celebration call, you are missing an incredible opportunity and you're missing the boat. And why is that? Well, because celebration calls can lead to coach explores, and coach explore calls will lead to coaches, to senior coaches, and to beyond. So all we're doing when it comes to a celebration call is we're inviting our clients to a conversation, right? We're inviting them to a conversation with our friend, even though although they are our coach, they are our friend too. So if you're having a hard time getting a client to agree to a call, I want you to take a deeper look on how you posture this call. Are you posturing, for your client what their week is going to look like from the start? From their journey kickoff, are you posturing what that first week is going to look like? How you're going to connect with them the first 4 days for a few minutes to review their day? That once their week is here, that not only are you going to celebrate them, but you're also going to bring in your coach, because that coach has been here a little bit longer, and they're going to provide tools and tips moving forward into their journey to help them get to their goal the quickest. You guys, when everyone wants to get to their goal the quickest, right? I mean, how many of us when we came in didn't want to get to our goal the quickest? And so we postured this call to help them see, hey, this call is going to be, yes, we're going to celebrate you because we're going to have a lot to celebrate, but we're also going to get some tips and some tools moving forward into your journey that's going to help you get there even quicker. And so this is something that you want to posture early on so that you don't, day 7, day 8, hey, we're going to jump on a call. That's when you're going to start to see a lot of people be like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? So remember, posture is everything when it comes to leading up to that week call. So now that I gave you kind of the 5 C's for growth, I'm going to give you the 4 purposes for celebration calls. And these are all, take notes because you guys, this is all super powerful to have. So number 1, right? It's time to celebrate and integrate. Obviously this is key when it comes to a celebration call. And we don't have to call it celebration call. I like to call it celebration tip call. Some people like more of a tip call. So it's up to you what it is that you want to call it or what you do call it. Because I know there's so many different ways of how people call these calls. But clearly we want to celebrate the success of their first week. You guys, this is a huge deal. Remember, we believe in it for them that first week until they start to believe in it for themselves. Well, it's week 1. They see success. They're in fat burn, they're feeling amazing. Well, now they believe. But it could also be a different direction, right? It could also sometimes not be 100% awesome that first week. Maybe they didn't see a lot of success, or maybe they're a little discouraged because they were hoping to see a bigger number. Well, this is a perfect opportunity to really dive deep into the routine of the day and see what tweaks we can make. Because remember, you guys, it's not that the program isn't working for them. It's that maybe that they're not seeing that maybe they're having something and they're not aware of that's keeping them from fat burn, and we want to investigate what that is. And so that's why it's really important, not just if they don't have something to celebrate and you don't think like, oh, I can't get them on a call. No, that's when you want to get them on a call even more, is because we want to find where those missing links are and what is going on in their journey that's preventing them to getting into that fat burn and feeling good. And how many of you, oh my gosh, this happens to us all the time, is for some reason they think your coach is the professional and they are willing to tell a stranger everything. And then you're sitting here thinking like, no, I told him not to do that. Wait, I told him not to do that. I mean, how many of us have had that? I remember sitting on with Justin so many times in the beginning of our journey and having these calls, and I'm thinking like, wait, they're working out? I told them not to. Why didn't they tell me that? So you're going to find that your client is going to reveal so much more to your coach than they reveal to you. And that's when you're going to find what those missing links are and why maybe they're not having success. But the number one thing is obviously we want to celebrate them, right? And then we want to integrate them. Ding, ding, ding. Integration is key to integrated coaches. We want to show them the incredible support community that they are a part of. And then not only do they have a coach, but now they have a team of coaches that are supporting them. You know, this is also the time that we want to ask about their life book. Are they getting into their life book? Have they cracked open that life book? And really share why the transformational system and the educational component is really their true program, and that the food is really just the tool. And that's what we want them to understand. So integration is key. So celebration and integration. Okay, so that's the first purpose. Second purpose, as mentors, we want to find the puzzle piece of where coaching can fit into their life. And that comes from the art of asking questions, right? You know, we're going to be asking them a lot of questions. We're going to ask about their family, about their job. You know, we want to put ourselves into their world and see where coaching can be a great fit. They may share that they hate their job. They may share that they hate their commute. The fact that they don't have enough time for family or for their kids. You know, we want to find the missing puzzle pieces in the questions and see where this can be a fit for what, you know, for their life. Third purpose is we want to share the gift of health coaching, right? Priscilla did an amazing job sharing that, you know, we want to plant that seed early. We want to plant that seed at the very beginning. And when we plant that seed at the very beginning with a health assessment, now you're bringing on, you know, another level of support to show, hey, coaching is that next step. And now they're going to think, well, man, everyone's talking about coaching. Maybe that is my next step. But we really want to share the two phases of Optavia, of their journey. We want to share Dr. A's vision for this mission and the way that Dr. A designed this mission, because they may not know how Dr. A designed this mission. They just think, oh, it's just the food. He designed this food to help us lose the weight. No. There's a lot more to that. So phase one, you know, we want to share that this is their phase that they're in right now. They're moving towards optimal health. And then once that they start to see that this program is transforming them, even as early as a week, it is without a doubt that those closest to them are going to start to see their transformation. And they're going to ask, hey, what the heck are you doing? So we want to share that this is when the work starts, and that we're going to start to move into phase two, right? We're in phase one now. Now we're going to show them, hey, you're in phase one right now. You know, there's two phases to this program. The way that Dr. A designed this program is that you're working on towards optimal health. Phase two is we're going to assist them, and we're going to help them see that we're going to get their community healthy, right? We're going to guide them to help others, because guess what? Those people are already asking. We're going to change that community around us. You know, we're going to be impacting those around us to get healthy. And then in return, it's going to bring an incredible sense of accountability into their life. And then they're going to actually see that, hey, you're going to be excited. You're feeling amazing. You're going to have the excitement that you want to share this program with everyone, right? So we're going to posture it that this is not of if it'll happen. It's really a matter of when it's going to happen. Whether it's not going to be today, but maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month, but letting them know, hey, that's going to be the next step in their journey. Because remember, you guys, posture is everything when you are talking to your clients. You know, so from there, you know, the most important question after sharing the two phases, and we let them know, hey, phase one is obviously working towards optimal health. And then it's not a matter of, you know, if it's going to happen, it's a matter of when. And that's going to be working on phase two, is we're going to help you, help others in your community, help those closest to you, those that are already asking, and we're going to help you guide them, or we're going to guide you to help them. So the most important question to ask is, after you go through that, is do you see if coaching can be a fit into your life? Do you see that vision? Do you see how this can help you? And it can go one in two ways, you guys. Is the first way, if they actually say yes, awesome, right? If they say, you know what, yeah, I can see how that could be a fit, awesome. Well, guess what? Well, now we're going to set up a Coach Explore. Now, it's not going to be then and there, right? We don't have time for a Coach Explore right then and there. This goal of this call was to really help them, to celebrate them, and you know, really tell them about coaching. But you know, we're not going to set that up. So from there, you guys, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a Coach Explore, right? We're going to have the business coach send that short 13-minute. I love this video, you guys. I mean, I know there's so many other ones, but I love how short the Becca Tinter business opportunity video is, because let's be honest, who wants to sit down and watch a 30 to 45-minute video, right? People are going to watch a 13-minute video over a 45-minute video. So we always have the business coach send them that video and really share with them, hey, they're going to send you a video to share what coaching looks like. And then we're going to set up a proper Coach Explore. And that's when we want to do that, within 48 hours. We don't want to wait till next week. We don't want to wait a couple weeks from now or at their month mark. No, we want to set that up ASAP, because now they're thinking about it and we want to keep that excitement going. So we're going to set up that Coach Explore within 48 hours. Or maybe it's going to go the different direction and they're going to say, no, not right now. I want to wait till I get to my goal. I mean, I know we all have those. I want to wait. Maybe they're not ready, and that's okay. So this is actually an opportunity of when I like to ask them if they're up for a challenge. And this is going to help them grow. It's going to help them invite more accountability and support into their lives. So when they say yes, they're up for a challenge, I'm going to challenge them to live their journey out loud. You know, I'm going to ask them, hey, you know, I'm going to really encourage you to start to share what it is that you're doing, because it's going to invite more accountability. It's going to invite more support into your life. So posting it on your Facebook, you know, something as simple as like, wow, I can't believe I'm down 8 pounds my first week. You know, I'm feeling amazing. I can't wait to see where this journey goes. And then asking them to tag their coach. 8 out of 10 times, you guys, clients have no problem posting on Facebook. Why? Because we are posturing that sharing our results and sharing, you know, and living our journey out loud is going to invite a lot more accountability, and it's going to invite a lot more support into our journey. And that they're going to see that people are going to be supporting them, and they're going to be even more excited, and that's going to inspire them more to stay along in their journey. And so one of those two ways, right? It's going to go to a Coach Explorer, or we're going to ask them to give us a shout out on Facebook to invite more accountability. Now, when we go to number 2, the challenge, now you're going to see that this is going to go in full circle. Because remember, the last thing we want to do is get a referral, right? We always want to move that to a Coach Explorer. We always want to move that to that person coaching. So when your clients do posts, they're probably going to get a few people asking, what is it that they're doing? Now, this is when we want them to see the value in coaching and how people are interested in what they are doing. Because I want you to think about this. When we were all presented in coaching, did we first think, I know I did, but did we first think, God, I don't know anyone. I don't know if anyone's going to want to do this. And that's what really the mindset that a lot of these clients come into, is they don't think they know anybody. Well, now that they're seeing it comes in full circle, and now they're seeing, you know, maybe people are asking what it is that they're doing. You know, what we want to do is we want to go to that person, because now they're saying, okay, maybe their friends and family are asking. Maybe they didn't think that before, but now they are asking. And we want to go around full circle again, be like, hey, you know, I know we talked about coaching really briefly and you weren't ready, but you have a lot of friends that are asking what it is that you're doing. Are you ready to explore what coaching can do? Well, boom, it goes in both ways again, right? If they say yes, awesome, set up that Coach Explorer, right? A lot of times they're going to see the power of how people are asking, and now they're thinking, well, maybe I can coach. I have people asking. Or if they still say no, well, you just got a ton of referrals. So it's really a win-win situation, right? So you just got a lot of referrals, and now you know what bucket that client goes into. So let's kind of talk about buckets. I'm going to speed things up because I know we're almost out of time. But your clients are going to fall into 2 different buckets. Your referral bucket, which those are the ones that, you know, they don't want to coach, but that's okay. We love referrals too if they're not ready. Or number 2, your coach buckets, right? These are the people that are ready to join that mission with you, that they're ready to help change the world with you and want to help change and impact other people's lives. And I want to take a second also. So those are kind of the 2 buckets, but I want to take a second and talk about the skill set of doing this for your new coaches. So your coaches don't have those sponsoring goggles yet, right? We're getting on these client celebration calls with them, and they're not seeing the potential yet of what this client, if they're a good coach or not. But you have those sponsoring goggles. You know what would be a good coach. So, you know, make sure that when you do these client support calls for your new coaches, that you have your sponsoring goggles on, that you know what it takes to make a good coach. And so when you see that in someone else, or you see that in that client, you go tell your new coach, hey, that person's going to be an incredible coach. Keep layering, keep watering that seed, because they are going to be your next coach. And so now they're like, oh my gosh, now I see it. So it's really important to do that. That's kind of like a side note. But now I'm going to leave you guys with a challenge, okay? If you have clients who have slipped through the cracks and did not get a celebration call, go back and invite them to one. It is not too late. I don't care if it's been a month. I don't care if it's been 4 months. I don't care if it's been 8 months and they're still on their journey and rocking it. Is definitely challenge you guys to set everyone up on a celebration call, because they deserve it. And now you can see which bucket they fall into. So to wrap this up, you know, why are celebration calls so important to master and not to skip? Well, because if you want to set up a sponsoring culture within your organization, this is a skill set that you want to master. You know, celebration calls are really set up to move your business forward. Do you want to celebrate? Is it a purpose to celebrate that client? Heck yeah. You know, do you want to integrate them? Heck yes. But if you can get a referral, if you can get a Coach Explorer or a Facebook shout out from it, now that's moving your business forward and setting your business up for incredible growth. Caroline, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Wow. That was incredible. You guys, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is go back and watch this video today. Like, these guys are so passionate about what they do. There's a reason why they're fully integrated business coaches. There's a reason why they've been able to operate their business that way and grow it to that point, because they're so passionate. But because they're so passionate, man, they come out as fast and furious with all these amazing tips. So First and foremost, your first action step for today is to go back and watch this again and take more notes. Because if you guys are like me, you wrote stuff down, but you weren't able to catch it all. So there is so much gold and so much value in what these guys shared with us today. I want you guys to make sure that you're getting it all and that you're applying that. So let me go ahead and give you guys some more action steps for today. I'm not going to show these to you. I'm going to tell them to you, and then I'll post them in the group for the sake of time. I don't want to have to share slides. So first and foremost, go back and watch this video and take notes. Secondly, we're going to continue on with what we've been doing every day. Remember, we want to get into a structure. We want to create these habits that we're utilizing every day to grow our businesses and to be successful. So write out your win the day cards. Write those out today and post those in the group. We're going to put these action steps in there so you can post those. Write out 3 things that you're grateful for before you go to bed each day. You know, this is something that my mentor told me and taught me a long time ago. And being able to be grateful for the things in your life is the number one thing that's going to help shift you out of a negative mindset and help you to really focus on the good things in life. And that is what you're accomplishing in carrying out your mission as a coach. And then thirdly, go back and revisit those 1-month goals and 1-year goals and 5-year goals that Karen asked us to write out yesterday. Go back and revisit those, think on those, spend time meditating on those goals that you wrote down yesterday, and you know, really think on that. And then today, I want you guys, I'm going to refer back to the trilogy call that I brought up at the beginning of this call. Your list of 50 to 100 people, we're going to utilize that list, and we're going to invite every name on that list to this trilogy call on Saturday. So I want you to start working through that list today. And we only have a few days to do this, so you're going to have to really, you know, work through a lot of them. So start working on that and inviting people to the trilogy call this Saturday. And I don't want you to just drop them into a group to invite them. I want you to call them. I want you to video message them. I want you to send them a message, a personal message to each person, inviting them to this call, and tell them why you think they should be on this call. Don't just send them a link and say, hey, you need to get on this call. Tell them why. Qualify them. Tell them why you think they would be a great coach and why they should get on this call. So again, we're giving you guys so many tools this week to help move your business from an executive director business to a fully integrated business. So utilize the tools that we're giving you. Do these action steps. Again, if you come to these calls and you just listen to the talk and you get fired up and you're, you know, just excited, that's not really going to move your business. We have to do the action steps. So again, I'm going to post these in the group today. So I want you guys to really focus on those, and let's get those done today. Thank you to all of our presenters today. I know I was super inspired, and I just love the fire that you guys bring and how passionate you are about what you do. And thank you for giving us those nuggets of gold today. So go on out there, guys. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys on again tomorrow.